All right, welcome back. This is my live trade session. It is like 30 seconds till market open, February 22nd. Let's get into it. I am both bearish on NASDAQ and the S&P. Obviously, anything can change, but right now my bias is pretty bullish. Again, as a little refresher, on the 4-hour, we are obviously in an uptrend. I use the 4-hour for my daily bias. On the 1-hour, we are also very clearly in an uptrend as well. Market just opened and it looks like it's pushing higher on NASDAQ. But on the 1-hour, I would love for, being that we are also in an uptrend and our 4-hour and our 1-hour are both trending in the same direction, I'd love to see price sweep these 1-hour lows before going higher. Ideally, that would require us to come down to the 5-minute, have these lows swept. Actually, it looks like they were just swept. Okay, so this 1-hour low was swept right here. When did that take place? I was literally just blinking. 10 minutes before market opened. So that's great. I'd love for price to pull down a little bit lower and sweep this 1-hour low. But if it doesn't, that's all right too. So I'm going to keep an eye on NASDAQ. Also, it looks like this 1-hour low was swept on the S&P. That red box was just pre-market. I just like to see what pre-market, where it is, what happened, also what, if there's any like pre-market lows, so on and so forth. So it looks like price is sweeping this 1-hour low on the S&P, which is great. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Looks like we're getting a sweep. I would really love if NASDAQ came down just a little bit lower. But ultimately looking for a sweep of these lows to then have structure break back up to the upside if it wants to. That'll signal to me that we are indeed going a little bit higher. I have a few TP levels on NASDAQ that I like. Whereas the S&P, I would really just be taking it back to the high of the day. So we will see. Okay, so some red folder news just came out. It was Flash Manufacturing PMI. So that's this candle right here. Still bullish on all regards. I marked out this purple line so I could see price. This is the last high, so I wanted to see price break above that, and that would give us our break of structure to the upside. So depending on how this candle closes, I'm liking NASDAQ a little bit more, again, because I have better take profit areas, whereas S&P, I wanted to take it just back to the high of the day if it pulled down to here. So I might just leave that alone for now and then just pay attention to NASDAQ. We've got a few minutes, maybe like 4 minutes until this candle closes. So we still have some time. But that's what I'm looking at. It already swept this hourly low right here. I marked this one out too, just in case it wanted to pull back down into here, but it doesn't look like it really wants to. So yeah, just waiting to see what this candle wants to do. If it does close below it, we've got a little fair value gap here. That I could mark out. I'll go ahead and wait to do that though. And then we'll see. Okay, so we just got a break of structure to the upside. Love to see a very massive candle that did that. I have a fair value gap here that I'm going to go ahead and draw out. And then, let's see. Obviously, depending on how this closes, this could also leave a pretty large fair value gap. So I'll just wait for the next 5 minutes until this closes. And then from there, really, I would just be looking for a fill of one of these fair value gaps, a rejection out, and then looking to take this thing to the upside. Again, price is already moving so much, but I like this area as a take profit. I guess depending on how price moves, this is a good area as well. Fill in this imbalance, and then this would be final. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 take profit levels. Again, we will see though. Just wanted to mark those out beforehand. And then something I also like to do, just like I know I only do this if like 2 or 3 of my confluences, I see them already. We've already got a sweep of liquidity to the downside, break of structure to the upside, a fair value gap has formed right here, but a potential fair value gap is forming here. So like things are setting up, and that's when I'll go in and I'll mark out potential take profit levels. I'll see potentially how big my stop loss will be if, again, I get this set up. But I don't really do this until, again, I have multiple confluences that have already aligned. Like this candle's massive. Do, 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 do. My sister just texted me, am I allowed to come downstairs? I live with my little sister. And she hears me keying down here. Okay, so Price, in fact, did not leave a fair value gap for us down here. But again, there's this fair value gap right here. So I'm interested to see how Price wants to use it. We're also within our order block as well. But we will see. Good morning. And then the only time I ever scale down to the 1 minute is if I'm looking for a better entry. So, I mean, that's a pretty good rejection. So I'll scale down to the 1 minute if and only if everything is aligned, and if I get a break of structure to the upside on the 1 minute before I get rejection on the 5 minute. It's normally goes hand in hand. Like if you see it on the 1 minute, it's happening on the 5 minute, but that's the only time I'll scale down to the 1 minute and take an entry. Just gonna give it a second. So I just would want to see price come above this, and then I'll be in for a longe donge. Again, my units and everything is going to be off. I haven't sat down to figure it out, to be honest. If I'm being quite honest. I'm going to buy on, what is this? NASDAQ. It didn't quite give us a break to the upside, but I'm in it regardless. Okay, so with that being said, I should have waited. But it is what it is. We're already in there. So I'm going to my stop loss down here. My take profit. Where do I want to take this? I'm going to take it to TP2 and see how price is reacting once we get up here. This gives us like a 2 to 1, give or take. Not bad. Not bad at all. We still haven't gotten that break to the upside on the 1 minute, but again, I'm already in here. I'm just going to monitor the 1 minute for a moment until we get a break to the upside, and then I'll switch back to the 5 minute. Oh, and we did. We got it. So ideally, my entry would have been right here. If I was following what I was supposed to be following. Where's a little... Huh. Cool, that's it. Now we just wait and we see what price wants to do. I'm only taking a trade on NASDAQ today because the TP levels. And again, if you're new here, I'm only paper trading this week. And there's a few reasons for that, but over the last month, I would say, I've been refining the way that I trade. That's also why I wasn't consistently posting these videos on YouTube, because I was just making some revisions, if you will. And now I am also trading futures, which is a completely new thing for me. And again, I've not taken the time. It's already Thursday. I've not taken the time this week. That's something I'm going to do tomorrow. I must do it tomorrow and figure out how everything works with futures, because I'm honestly still a little lost. I'm just paper trading right now on TradingView. So full transparency, this is a demo trade. But at the end of the day, like, if you can take it on demo, I'm just really, this is just proof of concept right now. That's how I'm looking at it, proof of concept. Okay, cool. I'm going to time lapse this thing, and I'll either be stopped out or my take profit will be hit. But until then, let's just sit back, relax, and place your bets. What do you think's going to happen? All right, gang, here we are. As you can see, we are steadily making our way to the upside. Not gonna lie, I want to go for a walk. It's so nice outside. I haven't gone on a morning walk in quite some time. It's rare. I don't want to say it's rare. That's so dramatic. But I'm happy that I was able to identify a trade opportunity early on. And then at this point, I'm honestly just going to be monitoring it from my phone. Sitting at my computer, I find is most beneficial when I am looking to like identify a trade. But once I'm in here, it's pretty easy, and I prefer to just monitor it from my phone just so I can go about my day and do other things. So this is where we are. Got it here, locked and loaded on my trading view. We are currently up. I may go ahead and start managing this trade. Once it hits TP1, then once it sweeps this high and then like breaks above it, I'll go ahead and move my stop loss to break even. So that's the plan, taking it up to here. Again, depending on how price reacts over yonder. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Love to see a plan come together from the pre-market analysis to live trade calls. I'll also be filming a post-market recap so I can go over this trade in its entirety in probably a few hours, hopefully a few hours, when market closes. That's it. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the post-market recap.